Okay. Now you have done the AWS configuration, right? Now what you need to do, you need to configure the AWS CLI command line interface. Interface to which one? To AWS platform. You understand it? Platform
Yes.
is cloud service. So how you are going to connect through SSH? You have a connection string. You are going to connect through your Linux terminal. There you are going to give path, whatever connect string path is there. The same way CLI need to be connected to the AWS platform in the backend.
Okay.
For that purpose, you are using AWS configure in the command prompt of Windows. Yeah, you type AWS configure in the command prompt. It will give you first line. Then you need to choose that Excel file. Is it open? That key, what you tried in earlier, you
Yes.
copy that key. Yes. Enter, one more line will come. It is access ID, right? There is one more secret access key is there, right, in the Excel sheet.
Let me open, sir.
I think Excel sheet need to be there.
This is the one, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir. ID
Secret
and
key is there.
key, sir.
Secret key
Yeah,
is.
is the yes, sir, sir.
No, 1 minute. First one is normal key. Second one is secret key. Okay,
Secret key.
copy that. Yes. And in which region you created? Singapore, right? Singapore region name is what? It shows there, right, in your AWS screen, account screen, region name.
Yes, sir.
You go to console and what is your region name? No, you have to.
Singapore.
No, Singapore. There is a
AP South East.
those you need to identify. Enter, and then you give that AP South. AP is Asia Pac, basically. Okay.
Default is JSON.
JSON, because you are going to use JSON files there for policies, all those kind of things. You give JSON, right?
Yes, sir.
Enter.
Okay.
Right, now you are in AWS CLI. Once you are there in the AWS CLI, you need to follow these things. Okay, now you read the documentation in the bottom.
Same only, sir. Whatever we done just now.
Yes, that is correct, right? Now, let us say you type AWS S3 LS
Okay, sir.
in the command prompt. In the
What is
command
this?
prompt only you need to use all these things. Yeah, those all are done, right, in the first screen.
Okay. No, profile, something they mentioned
No,
profile.
no, that is they are explaining multiple profiles. If you want to create, you can create it, and which profile you are using, you can use it. All those. Further, you can come back and read that. Now, AWS S3 LS. LS is to list the
List.
buckets. Is it correct? Your bucket is coming.
Yes, sir.
Now, there is another command. LS. 1 minute.
S3 LS bucket name.
No. Objects also you can see. Now,
That one only, sir. Rajesh-bucket.
no, that is correct. What I am saying is for S3, there is a separate commands list. Let us pull that. AWS S3 CLI. To create bucket, to create object, we need to use those commands, command references.
Okay.
So let us pull that. I'll send one link to you. Just right away, you can use it. You don't need to search. 1 minute. Yeah, you click on that. It will give the list of the commands. You need to note down all these things later on in a separate file for your reference.
Sure.
This denotes completely operating with CLI, the bucket object operations. You follow those commands now.
Okay.
See, already one bucket is existing. You could create one more bucket. Okay, there is mb command is there to create bucket on top of the screen. Create bucket is there. Start with that.
Okay.
Separate bucket you create it
Okay.
for this exercise. Yeah. MB S3 colon double slash backslash. So you have bucket name. Bucket is different bucket you need to give, not the same bucket.
Okay.
My first CLI bucket you type it.
CLI bucket.
Yes. No. Enter. Now give ls command, S3 ls, AWS. There should be two buckets. Go to front end to the console. You log in with the same ID with IAM role and test there also. We are trying to operate in both ways. Remember that. You logged with that ID, admin?
Yes, admin, sir.
Okay, right. You don't need to do, just go to the S3 only. Go to directly S3. Check the bucket. Is it appearing on the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, click there. No, in the link. So check the permissions. What it is there by default. So by default, it is blocking public access. As a private object bucket only it is created.
Okay.
Right? Now, what you can do, you can add some files into that. Okay? How you are going to add it? You need to copy which file you want to add it there into the current folder. Current folder is where are you? You are in the command prompt, Windows
Yes,
directory.
okay.
There you need to keep, no, 1 minute. What you can do, you can create a separate folder for S3 files purpose. You copy the files which you want to upload it into that folder.
Okay. So hereafter I use this like this only. Okay. Okay.
No. You got what I'm saying. You need to get a folder, create a folder. In that you copy some files, then upload those files into S3 using CLI.
Okay.
Some image files you pull it into the directory.
Okay, sure, sir.
You create a directory anywhere in the drive because that path is there for the entire Windows, right?
Yes, sure, sir.
Okay. I wanted to see the difference from the CLI to the front end. Yeah, you save them into the directory. In Singapore, you can't use cars, right?
No, sir.
That is only the country, right?
For one normal car, it's going to be what happened?
Give the file name.
No, some truck. Okay. any virus or what?
What happened?
Something scanning, sir. I couldn't do anything. Okay.
Maybe you are trying to store that file, right? Okay. Okay, then you would add one more file also. car2 you put something.
Because downloading directly from net, no, sir. That's why.
Yeah, it will fetch. Yes. Okay, go to the folder. In that folder, in command prompt, cd.
Normal. Okay.
No, yeah, you be there in that folder to execute CLI commands
Okay.
because you need to upload the files.
Right, sir. I copied, sir. How can I see that one?
No, where is it? You have not done CD. Normally you give, don't give that. CD AWS S3. That's all. You don't need to give D colon. Where
Oh,
is
sir,
you?
that's
You
what
should be in
I'm.
D colon, right? You are not in D colon, right?
Yes, sir.
Go to D colon. Where are you? You are in C drive. You are trying to access D drive. You should be there in D drive.
Why it's coming like this, sir? D drive, CD.
No. You go to D drive, D colon.
Yes, sir.
Type D colon. I think you forgot totally the
Yeah.
DOS commands.
No, MS-DOS,
Uh,
I only know Linux commands. MS-DOS, I'm not sure.
list the files. You need to learn these also, right?
Sir, I know, sir. But list how, sir? LS, sir.
dir.
Or D, forgot. Sir.
Okay, now you have RD1 and car, both are there. Now what you can do, just go to the documentation, a CLI documentation, Amazon site, which I gave it to you. Okay, there is a bucket is created. Now what you are supposed to do, go down, objects are there in the bottom, object operations, manage objects. In that, you copy that file into bucket.
Okay.
See here, they have been very, you don't need to worry about all those things at this point. Okay, just copy the file into bucket. Your bucket is what? Latest bucket. You give it S3, AWS S3 LS.
Okay.
Here itself. So you need to upload into my first bucket CLI.
Okay, sir.
So path you need to give, that's all. Up to path only you take that command AWS S3 CP car.gp jpg, right?
Yes, sir.
File jpg space S3 colon slash slash, then your bucket name.
Say, if possible, can I use putty, sir?
No, I'll tell you about putty later. First, let us do this one. Slash. You have to close that. After that, it should store that, right? That's all. Don't give other things. Take up to that. Now,
Other
what?
one.
No. Hold on. You go to the front end. Test that.
Audi, sir. Audi.
Adi, you wait it. First, you
Okay.
see whether it is uploaded or in the console. You confirm
Okay.
it. You can go to bucket.
Need to refresh, sir.
Now click on the bucket. It says it takes few seconds to appear on the front end, but it should have been there now because you are in the same region, right?
Okay.
Click on that. See the object.
Yes, sir.
So click on that. So try to access URL.
But I need to make it public now, sir.
Oh, hold on, don't do all those things. What I am saying, you please do that.
Okay.
So here what we have done we have done like a non-public object. By default, we have uploaded it with the default options. Okay. If you want to make it, there are separate comments with CLI also you can make it. But at this point of time, we are not going to test those things. Now you can upload another object. We're trying to do object upload, delete, list objects only. Those operations only we are doing in this class.
Okay.
Okay, we're not going beyond that. Let us not get confusion with that.
Yes.
Now, what you can do,
Yes, sir.
both are there, right? Objects.
Yes.
Now go through the documentation further. Use the delete option. There is a delete local file is there. I mean, what you can do, you read it first.
Copy.
No. Here, delete option is there.
Yeah.
That block you, please read.
Delete the local file. Today S3 sync only copy 700 files, but objects between the source and however you can also supply the delete option to remove files or objects from target that are not present in the source. So following which extends the previous one, show how this works.
You need to operate these commands and test it. What you can do, those files you copy into separate folder. Say, take a backup of those files. You are trying to test with the local folder and bucket folder also with these commands. So in the meanwhile, what happens? You will lose that files. So take a backup of those files in separate folder and try to operate these commands, delete options. Basically, you are doing a synchronization with folder, bucket and folder, vice versa. Okay. So you copy those files into separate folder. Make one more directory in the same way and
I put a different drive.
Yeah, whatever you want to do it. Just please back up.
Okay.
But keep the files there for some time and follow these instructions.
rm./file.txt.
So you copied them, right, separately?
Yes, sir. 1 second, okay, sir.
Now what you can do, first what he is saying is use the Linux rm command to delete them. You are in Windows, sir. So use del command. You need to note down somewhere as a tabular form command differences between Linux and Windows. Okay. How to list the file, how to remove files, how to copy files, like that. Okay. There is a move command also in DOS.
Move copy I know, so only thing is that this one I learned. List one. Okay.
Now you try to apply those options on the screen.
Okay. So yeah, if I want to use the Unix, then how, sir? Linux, if I
No,
want to
I'll
use.
tell you, don't jump into the other topic. First, let
Okay.
us understand the CLI concepts here. Then whatever you want, at the end of the session, I'll answer the questions to you. Now let us complete these exercise.
Remove
So
RM.
use del command. RM also you can use it. It should work. You can give star.jpg, all files will be removed. You are in the same directory, right? Okay, del, you use del, del. Okay, directory, list the files, dir. Okay, there are no files. Then follow the next line. Next line is what? You need to use synchronization. You copied earlier, right? You can do the same way. Slash. Okay, last slash.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. No, sir. I did
La,
mistake here.
last slash.
No,
What
no,
is it?
sir. No, sir. I missed T here.
You copy that on top line. Okay, go to front end, console, verify that bucket, refresh the screen. It takes a while, few seconds.
Okay, after I removed, I didn't check here, sir. That's why. I'll
Right.
do it again.
Now, what you want to do?
No, after I removed, no, sir. I didn't check here. That's why.
Where?
After I delete here, no, sir. I didn't check here whether it's removed or not.
No, it is removed. We checked it. In fact, you try. Okay, dir you give it, test it. You synchronize it with blank folder only. Now you can re-execute that file, that command also. AWS S3 sync command if you want. Yeah, enter it.
Because now the file is not there now, so that's why.
No, no, no. What he's saying is you try this attempt synchronization by having empty folder, nothing happens. There is no change in the console. I mean
Yes,
in the bucket. It
yes,
says,
yes,
have you achieved that result or not?
yes, sir.
Okay, next line you follow. Next line what it says, sync with deletion, object is deleted from bucket. So you are trying to sync with delete basically.
Delete from right. Yes, sir.
Yeah, follow that commands. You are getting the scenario right, what he is
Yes,
trying to say.
yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got it now.
Synchronization, about synchronization he is explaining it.
Wow. Delete.
Yeah, actually if you could read before coming for lab, it will be easy for you to do faster lab exercise.
Okay.
Next time onwards, let us follow that method. You copy the bucket.
Deleted now.
Okay, now you see in the front end,
Okay.
So it means you need to use delete option specifically to synchronize it.
Bucket is empty.
Okay. Now there is one more. He's trying to say local files. Anyhow, you are deleted it. In our case, it is different, right? Now that's all. Bottom ones you don't need to try because you have removed the files basically,
Yes.
right? Now
I want to sync it back. That's the bucket.
sync it back means you need to put them back in the folder, right? Local folder.
Yes, sir.
You need to copy them back. Go to Explorer and do that.
Okay. So when I delete it will delete from the local as well as the bucket also, no, sir.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can do one thing. Where is it? This screen? This is coming from where? This particular screen.
Yes, sir. Now after
No,
I uploaded, I just refreshed. It came here now.
no. 1 minute. You have what you have done? You copied into
What?
the local directory.
Yeah, local directory. Again, I run
Then
the sync.
the synchronization command is applied it to the
Uh-huh.
front end. I
Yes.
mean S3 bucket.
Yes, sir.
So it is synchronized with the directory,
Yes, sir. Correct, sir.
right?
Yes.
So synchronization is mapped to your directory from S3 bucket. So now you can copy some more files here. Whether it is going to synchronize or not, you can test it.
Oh, okay.
You got the concept, right?
Yes, sir. Correct.
You do whatever you want to do, immediately it should upload it.
Okay, sir.
You take some, even our files also you can take it, materials.
Okay, sir.
See, developers what they do while running the programs, they'll get the output files. Those output files they keep in the local folder of the host system. Then they make a directory synchronization with the CLI commands. Then automatically it is uploaded to the S3. That S3 bucket URL is given to somebody through links. Then what
Okay.
happens? Yeah, they are going to see that files.
Okay, sir.
Save as target in S3 bucket.
Huh?
No, why HTML? You
Uh,
click on
uh,
that, click on the image. I think you have to save as picture.
yes.
No. You saved in download folder. Save as picture in S3. Now give car3 or something. Image.
Okay, sir.
Some file name. Now you see front end. Go to console immediately. Second tab. Refresh.
No, I have to sync.
One
Nothing
minute,
happened.
1 minute. Hold on. Go to CMD folder. Go to CMD folder. Uh, Here you give directory whether it is copied or not. dir. You use arrow mark, upward arrow mark. It will give from the history. Okay.
Copied.
Okay. So what you need to do? You need to apply that command here.
This one. Huh?
No, that past sync command was there, right?
Yeah, that's what, sir. Yeah.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, one upload happened it. So you refresh the screen in the front end. So whenever you are copying the file in the folder, you need to use that sync command. It automatically uploads. You don't need to use upload command separately.
Okay.
So that is the scenario explanation, basically. Okay.
Yes.
Now you played around with front end and back end. Now, what are the questions you have? Earlier you were asking, can I use particular tools or something?
Yes, I wanted to use like Linux system, sir, instead of Windows.
A Linux system, if you want to use, what are the setup you have done here? for CLI, before CLI?
Python installation.
Mm.
And then before that, first I downloaded the AWS CLI. After
Mm.
that, I installed the Python.
Mm.
Then I installed the pip.
Mm.
Then after that, I configured the pip.
Mm.
Then I tested whether it's working fine or not.
Yes, you have to do the same process there also in Linux.
Okay, sir. So
You
Linux,
understand it difference?
yes.
So you are
So I
most
have to
welcome
I
to
have
use
to
CLI
use
in Mac system. In Mac system also, you can configure it as a standby. There also you can use CLI.
here also I can use now, sir. Can I use like that in instance itself?
Yes, in instance also you can use, but don't try now. You don't need to spend much time on this lab.
Okay.
Offline you do it,
I can use same thing. Okay, sir.
right? But what is the use of doing this one? You have a Mac machine, right? Linux. You use that experiment there
Okay. Sure.
because Mac also you need to use sometimes, right?
Okay. The version compatibility, sir, because Mac
You
OS
fix
version.
all those things. You study documentation, fix all those things. You are a troubleshooter now already, AWS troubleshooter.
Okay.
If you get scared of all those things, then uh, when you take a 2 year baby or 3 year baby, there are firecrackers, she'll get scared, right?
Yes, sir.
You should not be that way, right? You are a sysadmin guy, troubleshooter, right?
Yes, sir.
Now you got the concept. What we have done in this exercise, we have installed the CLI by using the pip method. Then later on you used CLI commands in the backend to create the bucket, to create the objects, upload the objects, and synchronize the objects, and used the delete options. Then there is another exercise he has given that offline you practice it. Go to the documentation. There are multiple options he has given it. You use those options in the backend,
Sure.
right? And
Yes,
entire
sir.
this page has got completely the AWS CLI commands, S3 CLI basically.
Yes,
So you practice offline further. Okay,
sir. Okay.
right. You have any other questions now about the CLI usage?
Yeah. So far, okay, sir. No.
Yeah, you are
Uh,
going to work with EC2s also later on. Once you connect to now
And
one.
I have questions here, sir. What is this one, sir? Because what about this read URI grant all user? What is this one?
Okay, you are
Access control.
giving grant to all users basically. Okay, users means you have a read access guy, one ID is there in your IAM roles, you have full access, you have EC2 admin, 3 user IDs can access them.
Okay.
So you are granting permissions to other users basically. Yeah, I mean, you can try those options by writing steps with the different scenarios. I want to access these by using this command with the different IDs. Such kind of scenarios you need to develop it. Then you will be able to catch up the differences.
Okay.
The same thing they are going to ask in the interviews. Now you have given read access with CLI. Also, let us say I have created one read access ID, user ID. Now, can I access that? That is the question he is going to ask.
Mm.
So all these combination wise, you need to practice it.
So this user at example.com, the email they give. The email is like our
Gmail
primary
ID you
account.
can use. You can use.
Primary account.
Yeah, yeah. You can use. It need not to be primary account. You can give your any other email ID.
Gmail ID. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So this HTTP, why we have to use, sir? The groups all users.
Because this is the URL you are declaring it.
Okay, 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 sir.
You need to declare one URL for that.
Mhm.
Then that will give with that URL. Okay. Offline when you are going through, you need to give clear specifications. Whatever you are operating in the front end, you are using click options, most click options. Those options, equivalent commands, what are those? You need to go through the documentation, then it will explain this is the thing you are going to do in CLI. The same thing you can map into the front end, whatever you have done for sanctioning these things, the same thing you are applying here. When you compare both ways, in the interviews they might ask you, okay, I have created one public. Now what is the equivalent command for public? How are you going to do CLI? That is the question they are going to ask. They'll ask you, can you do in the backend all these options? I'll give the terminal, they will say. So what are you going to do? You need to learn all these things, practice 3-4 times with the different combinations, then get acquainted with that.
So the documentation given only this command. Any other command I can see, sir?
There
Not
are
that
S3 related,
access control.
this
Okay.
is a S3 related documentation only. There are other services also you have. There is a big CLI reference manual is there, around 1200 pages.
Okay.
Okay, so it contains all the things.
Okay.
One by one you need to go through. You should not get confusion among them.
Sure.
Whatever services we are practicing in the front end, one by one you can use it. Even CLI also you have all these things with related to EC2.
I'll go by your instructions, sir. I don't want to mess.
Because one by one if you go through, then it is easy for you.
Okay.
Otherwise confusion will be there, right?
Yes, sir.
So if you want to work with instances, yes, there are CLI commands. 1 minute. Just a moment.
And the documentation I have, sir.
Yeah, you have all
Easy
this.
to help me. That I have,
Yes,
sir. I
yes,
see. I
you
seen actually.
refer to those things.
Launching.
Yes,
Yes.
but there you will get confusion about VPC, all those things. Those are
Yes,
not
sir.
power data. That is the reason I'm going with baby steps to you to feed the CLI commands. Then you will ask all the questions. What are these? What are these codes? I don't understand. You will say.
This JSON format, sir? Is this JSON?
Yeah, all are JSON, Java code only, JSON code.
So this one I need to only understand. No need to do in production system all these things, no, sir?
It all depends on the role. Don't think all those things. Who is going to give job? Am I giving job to you, or somebody is giving? Your friend is giving job. Depends on the environment. Depends on the role. You need to do that. That's where I told you you are going to learn CloudFormation template. In that JSON and ML both
Sure.
we are going to work with that.
Okay.
That creates you all those things. I think you are little bit anxiety. The anxiety is accelerating. The more you learn it, you have to keep control on the anxiety. Keep practicing more on that.
Okay.
That is, I'll stop recording.